Hi guys, welcome back to Harry Makes Up. Today I have my lovely sister-in-law with me, Sally, and her gorgeous baby daughter, Etty. We're going to be doing a kind of quick daytime makeup look for busy mums, and we thought this is perfect because we have Etty with us here today. She's very gorgeous. She's making lots of noises in the background, and yeah, we're going to do our best to get this video done with Etty here and, you know, just kind of do it real time. Sally's going to have a go at some of the steps as well, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So we do have some visitors with us here today. I'm sure you're going to see Etty in the video at some point soon, but I've got my lovely mummy Sally, who's also a very good friend of mine. And we're just going to start with the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder Foundation. If you hear any banging, there will be people rescuing the baby. There we go, she's good. So I'm just going to take a MAC. I mean, if you're, I think the whole principle of this video is, you know, real time makeup. So I almost wanted you to do it a bit with me, Sally, as well. So we can show people how this is, you know, easy and doable. Now, me personally, I prefer a brush, but for a lot of people, that's not feasible. It's something else to buy. So obviously you can use your fingers. So I'm just going to start, and I'm using the shade number 6 on Sally. Because Sally actually does have a bit more of a tan than the camera picks up. So I'm just going to start with it. And this is like a tinted moisturiser, and I think if you're in a rush, you want a little bit of SPF.
Definitely.
And you've not got to worry about kind of perfect blending or anything that's super technical. It's more just, you can even put it on the way you would a face cream, and then just kind of take a clean finger and just make sure you blend any edges. So I'm being quite quick, as if Sally were hearing Etty in the background.
Always.
And we just started with a little bit of lip balm as well. Now, again, if you are wearing your hair up, you might want to take a little bit of any redness over your ears and a little bit down the neck as well. Don't forget your neck. And, you know, you can build this product to an extent. It's not going to have masses of coverage, but I think for daytime, you just want to even out your skin tone and just have a nice kind of fresh appearance. So I'll start with my fingers on the other side, so you can see that you literally always start in the center of the face or anywhere where you have the most redness. And just with a sweeping motion, just blending it in. And you want to make sure you've got a nice layer of moisturiser underneath. You can always add a bit of primer if you feel like makeup doesn't last very well on you. And just smoothing it in. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to add, and I do think for daytime you want to add a little bit of something to your brows. I think especially if you feel like you have slightly sparser brows like Sally does, even just adding a little bit of brow mascara can pretty much be your look. You know, that might be all you want. So I'm taking the Goof Proof Brow Pencil by Benefit. So we're just going to give a little green first. I'll turn you that way a little bit, Sally. Start in the centre rather than on either outer corner, so it doesn't get too strong too quickly. And we're just going to brush through Sally's brow, following the same direction as the hair. And if you just lift your brow bone a little bit, just thickening up ever so slightly. And this is in a colour that's very similar to the natural hairs that Sally's got in her brow anyway, so. And Etty agrees.
Yeah.
And then you just want to take your spoon and just kind of keep brushing them back through as you go, so you can make sure it stays really natural looking. For me, if you're a busy mum, it might literally be that mascara is your next step. Bit of cream blush, a bit of lip balm, and you're ready to go. If you feel like you want to even just have that tiny bit more something that I still think is really nice for daytime, I would just add something like a cream shadow. So this you can just apply with your fingers. You don't need a brush, so I'm just going to pat it on. So I'll show you what I'm doing, Sally, so you can see. So just a tiny bit. Tap a bit on the back of your hand first, so you don't end up with too much product, and then close. And then we're just going to wipe this into the lid. And you know, you can really build these. You can go kind of really full on with the pigment, or you can just give a little wash to the eye. Just to give a teeny bit of sheen. And also if you've got any kind of fatigue in the eyelids, if you've not slept, this is a really good way just to kind of hide that, or if there's any discoloration in the eyelid. So don't worry about anything underneath, because we haven't done concealer yet. Your concealer's gonna be your best friend when you're tired. So I'm going to give you to the other side, Sally. So I'll give you a mirror.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So you can see, like, I've just put a tiny bit on. That's it. And then just literally sort of sweep it over your eyelid.
Okay.
As if you were, that's it. Yeah, perfect. Just backwards and forwards.
Right.
That's perfect. And you can always, like I say, take a clean finger and just use that as like your blending tool. So obviously you can use brushes, but if time's an issue,
Just waving.
Oh, I wish we could turn the camera around. It's so cute.
Etty.
Get away. Are you coming in? Shall I take you? Do you want to come in?
Do you want to say hi?
We're going to bring Etty in because she's being so super cute. We'll see. I don't know if you'll see her. Oh my goodness.
Hello.
You're oh no. Is that Etty?
Hello.
What's happening? Oh my goodness. Oh, can you see yourself?
Is that Etty?
There's a lot of lights to distract Etty right now. It's very exciting. Hiya.
That'll be a good one.
Is that fun?
Okay, and down.
Oh, you did so well. Right, Etty's gonna keep looking after the boys.
That's gonna up the numbers. And I love that.
Well done, Ets. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so the next thing that I really recommend doing, Sally, do you ever curl your eyelashes?
I'm not very good at it.
Does it scare you, or does it just feel like,
I once got my eyelid caught in it.
That's enough for anyone off. So I've got a pair of eyelash curlers. I love the Kevin O'Quan ones, the Surratt ones, and the Schumacher ones are really good. So I think the best thing to do is I'll show Sally how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it on Sally first so she can kind of get confident. So first thing to do is look down at your nose, and then I'm just going to lift your lid into it. So if you just keep looking down at your nose, does that feel okay? Mm-hmm. And I really think, again, especially if you're wearing very little makeup, curling your lashes just makes a huge difference. It kind of makes you look like you have more lashes, even if you don't. So you straight away get more of a curl.
Chat.
Lovely chat. So the next step we're going to do is mascara. I think just use whatever your favourite one is. I'm going to use the Sumptuous Infinite Daring Length and Volume Mascara. I feel like mascaras always have the longest names ever. This is an Estee Lauder one. And what I would say is, for daytime, just get a tissue and just take a bit of the excess off. It's kind of a good tip just to make sure you don't get too clumpy lashes. So if you look down for me, Sally. So I'm just going to go in and give a nice black lash. And especially because Sally's got blonde lashes, I need to make sure I get them right, kind of wiggle it into the roots a little bit. So you can put it on the bottom lashes as well, but mainly focusing on the top. So just wiggle them in to the roots. Okay, so my favourite bit, and I think if you're a busy mum, this will become your favourite bit too, is concealer. I just think it's the thing that changes everything. Yep. You want to be able to cheat that you've had 8 hours sleep, maybe even 5 hours sleep. Maybe that seems like the dream right now. So I'm going to take the Nars Creamy Concealer. This is quite a high pigmented concealer, but because we've done a tinted moisturiser, Sally's skin's still going to look real, it's still going to look like her skin. We're just going to take out any darkness under the eye, and you can also use this for blemishes as well. So it's a really good all-rounder. I'm going to use, again, you can just go with your fingers. My temptation as a makeup artist is always to use like more brushes, but keeping it real time, you totally can use your fingers too. So I'm going to turn you that way a little bit, Sally, that's it. And I'm just going to start a little bit on the inside corner. And then just with your ring finger, you just want to tap that in. And I kind of take it like a little semicircle underneath the eye. Such a cheeky laugh. And you can even use with your finger, just kind of almost like tap it into the inner corner of the eye, so you get that little bit of brightness, like a little pop. And then again, just what's left on your finger, you can just do a little bit around the nose as well, because again, like I said, there's more capillaries there. So most people tend to get a little bit of redness around their nose. So yeah, concealer becomes your best friend. I think no matter whether you're a mum or not a mum, maybe you have late nights or early starts, it's just that thing that changes everything. So I've introduced Sally to like cream blushes and cream highlighters recently, haven't you? Yeah, and we were saying like, you know, Sally was asking me how do you get that dewy look, because I always think like a dewy look makes you look a bit more refreshed and healthy anyway. So I'm going to use these cream blushes from Tarte. You get literally, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cream blushes and a highlighter in here. So I'm going to use, I think we're going to use this one, more kind of like dusky pink on Sally. All the colours are beautiful. And again, just so I can show you makeup you can do with your fingers. So just tapping it first in the back of my hand, it's always easier to add more than it is to take away. So if you just smile for me, Sally. So literally onto the cheek and just kind of swoop it upwards. Just so you get a nice bit of colour back into the skin. And again, even if you felt like you put too much on, you can just get a cotton pad and just kind of sweep over it a little bit. And also where you kind of do the tapping motion with your fingers, often it will bring the blood to the surface originally, so it will kind of go a little bit less colour than what you originally put on. So I turn you that way, Sally. So just tap, tap, and just kind of smudge it in. And because this foundation is also nice and dewy, it's going to work really well with cream-based products. And again, I think this is just all part of looking healthy and refreshed. And then we are going to do MAC Hush, which is one I always love, but I don't give enough love on this channel actually, which is just a really nice peachy highlighter. And we're just going to tap that on the tops of the cheekbones. And you can take a little bit into the brow bone if you want to, but it's very, very forgiving. I like to take a little bit in the bridge of the nose. And just the tops of those cheekbones. And then I'm going to add a tiny bit of powder because I know not everyone will maybe want to look as dewy. So I'm going to take my favourite powder, which is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting one. And I love dim light because it doesn't kind of take away from the dewiness. So you just want a powder brush. It's the only time you will need a brush so far. So I think we've managed to use one brush so far. It's not bad.
Yeah.
So, okay, we're just going to do anywhere that we don't want the sheen. So I'm just going to take a little bit off the T-zone really. That's kind of where I'm going to concentrate it. A little bit in that inner corner just to set. A little bit on the chin. If you turn that way to the side. And you can set under the eyes if you want to. If you feel like you have any fine lines and you want to make sure it sets, just go over with a little sweeping of powder just under the eyes. But you just don't want to disturb any of the dewiness you've created. So yeah, for lips, I feel like you've got two choices depending on what your idea of like a day makeup is. You can either go with something super simple, and again, I think if you've got no time, you probably at this point, you're in the car with the car seat, getting everything ready, you're like, okay, lip balm. Go for something like this. This is the Clarins Instant Light. These are really great. They are a natural lip perfector. So you get a little bit of a tint, and it's kind of like a serum-y lip balm in one, so you can just do it from the bullets. And the great thing about this is you don't really need a mirror. This is literally like the baby's on your back. there's no time, you can just sort of whack this on from the tube. So it's really, really easy. And just open a little bit for me, Sally, that's it. And it's quite a nice flattering shade. It's one of those kind of Your Lips But Better shades. So it doesn't add a huge amount of pigment, but enough that, again, you just look polished, you just look dressed for the day. So yeah, the other option is just to use something like the Hourglass Girl Stilo, and you can just pat on for a little bit more pigment, but it's still got a kind of balmy feel to it, which is really pretty. So that is the finished look, guys. I hope you've enjoyed that. Hopefully there's some tips and tricks in there you can use for, especially when you're short on time. Very mum friendly. So for busy mums, you know, this is just a nice way to feel clean and fresh, and a nice natural wearable day makeup look. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Please subscribe, and I'll see you soon for more.